SCP-3288 are called the Aristocrats, and it's not the ones you read about in your history book, although it's kind of close. A very dark and twisted version of it, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail. Guys, we're going to react to the Rubbers animation about them today. Make sure to head on over to their channel and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you like reaction videos. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into this reaction.
A dwarf 3288 climbed atop 3288 Alpha's shoulder and lifted its red veil, covering only the eyes. 3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter class object SCP-3288.
Cajun, we like to cook stuff, but not people.
SCP-3288, also known as the Aristocrats, are highly predatory species or subspecies of the genus Homo.
Right, like the
3288 instances are mutated and deformed to an inhuman degree.
Alright.
They are completely hairless and have chalk white, light-sensitive skin. Their arms are fully twice as long as a human's, and in polydactyl hands, covered in enamel. The substance tends to fracture and shift, causing pain, but allowing the afflicted to remain mobile. SCP-3288 instances hate and fear bright light, which causes them great pain. The mental state of 3288 are unstable, primarily characterized by delusions of grandeur and malignant narcissism. 3288 are usually about human size, often slightly shorter due to their pronounced hunchbacks. But some instances can grow much larger than any human.
Genus Homo was
3288
like
instances have abnormal muscle strength despite having the appearance of severe emaciation. They also exhibit heterochromia, with each eye a different color. Colors range from blue, red, purple, and yellow.
Look emaciated.
Their most horrific feature is a massive mouth with grotesquely jutting jaws, containing at least 60 huge teeth, approximately 6 times the size of normal adult teeth, packed unevenly into 6 rows. 3288 are also addicted to eating human flesh, primarily targeted the most vulnerable of the population, such as prostitutes, unsupervised children, transients, and inebriated or otherwise indisposed individuals.
They like their food dirty.
These traits have not been only negated, but inversely amplified, resulting in longer lifespans, increased resistance to disease, and anonymously high levels of fertility. SCP-3288 pregnancies have a gestation period of around 2 weeks, and usually produce multiple offspring, which reach physical and sexual maturity in less than 2 years. According to the entries by Leopold I, it seems that the creation of SCP-3288 is the result of the introduction of an anomalous gene into the Habsburg family bloodline. This gene allows human DNA to resist certain deleterious conditions associated with inbreeding. The House of Habsburg continued its practice of inbreeding. Those with significant deformities were hidden from the public. The Habsburg monarchs even created vast vaults to house them, and those who more closely resembled baseline humans remained on the surface. Documents reveal that the lifestyle of those who live in the vault is as luxurious as the one above. The request of food, wine, and entertainment over time become eccentric and strange, and eventually depraved. Among these requests was a substantial supply of human corpses, killed by the Great Plague of 1738 for use as food. Among the entries, there's one document that contains a list of vaults. The Foundation has used this information to locate and neutralize SCP-3288 hives. But half of the document was illegible due to mold-related damage.
That's bad stuff,
This means that at least half of these vaults will continue to be a significant threat to the public.
Oh my gosh.
SCP-3288 were first found out by the Foundation in 1988. They became aware of 3288 while investigating reports of unexplained disappearances in Vienna. It was discovered that these incidents occurred near sewer holes and access tunnels. 2 agents were dispatched to Vienna to determine whether or not those unexplained disappearances were of an anomalous nature. Interviews with law enforcement and government officials revealed that human remains belonging to 3 individuals had been recovered. But that this information was not released to the public due to concerns of causing further panic. These remains were then delivered to Humanoid Containment Site 282 in Graz. Autopsy reports noted that the 3 remains displayed no injuries corresponding with the human attacker. The doctor concluded that all sustained injuries were caused by a mix of teeth, claws, and raw physical strength.
Like an animal.
Further analysis revealed unique patterns among the bite marks, suggesting that there existed more than one source. In order to track down 3288, Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 was ordered to patrol the Leopoldstadt district, which has the highest number of recorded disappearances. Operatives are instructed to target 3288 with tracking darts and to refrain from lethal force.
Wow.
Their first operation happened on the 10th of June, 1988. 12 MTF Sigma-6 operatives patrolled the Leopoldstadt district in the evening. 2 hours later, operatives 12 and 09 reported hearing a muffled scream near the Donut Canal and sought to investigate the matter while requesting backup.
Was it a victim or another agent?
Support arrived 3 minutes after the initial request and found the mangled remains of both operatives, as well as the half-consumed body of a local civilian.
God dang!
Operative 12's head was detached from his body and was never located. His neck had sustained injuries suggesting that it had been severed or destroyed by a single bite. A trail of blood and entrails led to Operative 09, who had been torn in half along the waist.
Wow.
He had successfully crawled into an alleyway before succumbing to his injuries.
Right.
The mission was deemed a success despite the loss of life, as Operative 09 had successfully struck the SCP-3288 instance with a tracking dart.
Got you.
The entity had escaped into the sewers, its movements tracked until the signal began to fade before entirely disappearing. A month later, MTF Sigma-6 operatives were sent out again to the last known location of 3288.
In the sewers.
The Foundation hoped to minimize the possibility of escape and public exposure. Therefore, this time, they can use lethal force if
so
necessary.
they can just kill him.
After several hours of investigation, Operatives 04 encountered human skeletal remains while wading through waist-deep water.
Wow.
Closer analysis of this area uncovered several loose bricks, which removal revealed an unrecorded subterranean chamber, whose walls were engraved with the House of Habsburg's coat of arms. The chamber included 24 sarcophagi, and was presumably a family crypt belonging to the House of Habsburg. Prying open the sarcophagi revealed the skeletal remains of over 300 victims, all displaying severe and likely fatal deformities. At the far end of the crypt was a vault door composed of bronze, with no apparent means of access, and seemingly impenetrable without proper equipment. The door displayed the House of Habsburg coats of arms, and was engraved with the words, "For purity of blood." MTF Sigma-6 operatives were ordered to hold their current location and await the arrival of an infiltration team.
Like the inbreeding.
Foundation agents organized the temporary evacuation of the city and the sealing of all sewer access points. Finally, after many attempts to open the vault door, the bronze gate was finally carved apart via oxyfuel cutting torches and revealing a spiral staircase.
Now, how did that
an 8-person squad descended the staircase
and close,
with
or how did they get out if that was
growing
the
increasingly
only
faint
entrance?
as the operatives traveled down the stairs. Red ground flares were periodically lit and discarded, providing a clear path of return. Operatives reached the bottom of the stairwell, where the gray stone halls of the crypt were replaced by architectural designs resembling 18th century depictions and reflecting the early Rococo artistic style popular during the era. The location, hereafter known as SCP-3288-1A, contained various sculptures and Corinthian columns, while paintings and tattered tapestries adorned its walls. All depictions of the human form had been literally defaced, regardless of artistic medium. Operatives told Control Center that the air smells like rotten meat and stale sweat. The floor and walls were stained with blood. Traveling through the corridor, operatives entered what appeared to be SCP-3288-1's library.
So it had
the
a library.
desk contained documents relating to alchemy, biology, contracts,
so
and
they're
private
very
journals.
intelligent.
Most
even
of
though
these were in Latin and German.
Their appetite is primal.
Operatives reached the ballroom and opera hall, describing the air as fetid. The aroma of perfume was also noted. The area contained a number of instruments. There were several refectory tables, probably used as a dining hall as well.
Right.
Atop the tables were human remains in various levels of decomposition and culinary presentation. A bell abruptly began to toll,
like
and was
nobles.
followed by the automatic music of a nearby pipe organ.
Oh my gosh.
The discordant song played for approximately 3 minutes.
That's so creepy,
When
dude.
the pipe organ ceased its playing, it was followed by the sound of opening doors and shuffling footsteps.
Dinner time.
Operatives were ordered to hide behind the curtains and deactivate their flashlights. Unfortunately, Operatives 18 fell behind, having tripped over a pile of bones,
Oh no.
and forced to take cover behind a harpsichord.
That's not good.
Operatives observed the entire ballroom from the far corner of the stage curtain. The ballroom's wide gates opened. SCP-3288 walked in while dressed in the garb of 18th century
Look at
courtiers.
this.
Then a pair of diminutive SCP-3288 entered, lagging behind the others.
Right.
One blew a rusty trumpet, while the other acted as standard bearer, holding a crudely painted ensign depicting a red lion on a black field. The trumpeter and standard bearer quickly moved aside
What are they
after making
introducing?
an announcement, their stunted legs causing them to tumble and roll as they fled. There now appeared to be several hundred SCP-3288 throughout the ballroom.
Wow.
Operatives 01 activated a silent distress call,
When they said
requesting
hives,
heavy support.
they were for real. That's
All
a lot of...
3288 proceeded
I
to
mean, they
kneel
breed
and
like
lower their
crazy,
heads.
right?
An exceptionally corpulent instance of
That's the one
SCP-3288,
that the dwarf
classified
was
as
feeding.
SCP-3288 Alpha, entered the room,
The
carried by
first?
other SCP-3288 via an enlarged and reinforced sedan chair.
Wow.
3288 Alpha was
Carrying
dressed
it
in a
like a
patchwork of
king.
noble finery, stitched together from various fabrics to create a single outfit capable of fitting its frame. It wore a crown that had come to more closely resemble a torture device, too small for its head, but held in place by an overgrowth of flesh.
Ugh.
In lieu of a masquerade mask, it hid its face beneath a red shroud. A large iron cauldron containing deformed living victims was delivered to SCP-3288 Alpha's table.
Deformed living
A
victim.
dwarf 3288 climbed atop
Here we
3288
go.
Alpha's shoulder and lifted up its red veil, covering
Look at this
only the
thing's
eyes.
mouth, man.
3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the
God.
victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. The other 3288 raised their masks and began to feast.
Some
An
kind of
exceptionally tall specimen
weird
approached the
ballroom.
harpsichord
Oh
and snatched
no.
Operative 18 from behind it.
Uh-oh.
The entity unhinged its jaw and quickly forced the operative down its throat first.
Oh.
His screams unheard among the sounds of feasting and
Unhinged.
discordant music. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the event, causing mass
MTF?
casualties among the 3288.
Backups here.
It is hypothesized that Operative 18 survived his ordeal and was able to activate an explosive device,
Oh, that's what
sacrificing
happened.
himself in order to terminate 3288.
Man.
Panic spread among the remaining 3288. MTF Sigma-6 took
Somebody
this opportunity
lit
to
up a
release
grenade in the
3
kitchen or
methylfentanyl
dining room,
to
you'd go
make
crazy too.
3288 unconscious.
So they trying to knock
With
him
the
out.
arrival of reinforcements, the survivors were secured
Okay.
and contained at Humanoid Containment Site 282. The sheer size of SCP-3288 Alpha necessitated the use of a specialized crane
Wow.
and the creation of a shaft directly connecting SCP-32881 to the surface.
That thing is huge.
Following the removal of
grotesque.
SCP-3288 Alpha, SCP-32881 was filled with cement and reburied.
They didn't even incinerate the hive because it was underneath the city. They just cemented the whole thing. Can you imagine how much concrete that took? This was a really, really interesting one, guys. Check out the Rubber's channel. He's the one that made the animation, as well as a couple other videos that I reacted to from him. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.